my dear friends. Today I'm going to show you my favorite way of cooking ragu sauce. The ingredients are so simple. Garlic, onion, some parsley at the end for garnish, tomato sauce, some milk, and minced meat. Nevertheless, at the end, some fresh grated Parmesan. Now these two ingredients you see, which is going to be in my variation, so they will be at the end 3 flavors. Let's start with the ingredients. This baby is going to cook for at least an hour, so you don't have to worry that the garlic or the onions is going to be chopped not so prettily. Roughly chop will do. Measure it at the end, exactly how much I'm putting. And it's actually very freestyle. It depends how much you have and how sweet you want it. Because the garlic and the onions, after a long cooking, contributes a lot of sweetness into the sauce. Now, this is the way I like to chop onion. First of all, you want to make sure that your knife is really sharp so it doesn't stimulate your eyes. And then you just have to start fast. The last one. So always cut against the layer of onion. And there you go. Now I'm just gonna measure exactly how much onion I'm using today. Roughly. I'm using today for the minced pork and ground beef altogether is 500 grams, and for the onion that's 1 cup, roughly around 2 cups I would say. Altogether, roughly 2 cups. Okay, then the minced garlic. So I'm gonna use 2 big cloves. Roughly chopped. Roughly like onion, right? But I'm gonna give it a more final touch because I hate to see big chunks of garlic in the sauce. I don't know why, but it's just me. Okay, that's it. Let's go stir fry. In the pan, I'm gonna give it a generous amount of olive oil. Garlic and onion. Wait until it's sizzling. It's gonna take a while until the pan heats up. Okay, the oil and the garlic are seasoning. I'm gonna tone down the heat a bit to medium. I don't want to burn the garlic and the ginger, onion. Now, the onion and the garlic started to sweat a bit. I once again turn the heat up and put in all the minced meat. And break all the lumps. Minced meat is properly cooked through. All the lumps are gone. I'm gonna add one teaspoon of sea salt and lots of pepper. You see the bubbling? I'm not adding any liquid, it's just moist coming from onion, garlic, and the meat itself. At this point, there is no fragrance at all. It's just sometimes a little bit of strong fragrance from the meat. So I love to put a lot of black pepper right now. Then, before we add the tomato, that's the fun part. I'm going to add around half a cup of milk. And you're gonna ask why I put milk. So lots of people say, which I agree, is that the milk is going to protect, form a shield on the surface of the meat. So when you cook the tomato sauce into the meat for a long time, it's not going to break, the acid is not going to break down the protein too much. So it always still tastes very moist and lovely. And this is what I found. I really like this technique, so I'm going to share it with you. Then, one nice tin of tomato. It looks a bit pinky and looks a bit strange, but after an hour you will know it's absolutely okay. Tone down the heat. To small and let it simmer for at least 45 minutes or until the liquid is evaporated, at least, let's say half. Oops, sorry. While the meat sauce is on the stove, I'm gonna chop the herbs and getting the Parmesan ready and the other variation of the meat sauce flavor. By the way, as I was in the kitchen, I realized that the milk can add up to 3/4 instead of half a cup. So keep that in mind. Now let's chop the flat leaves parsley for the final touch when we're mixing the pasta. Really fragrance. If you don't have it, the dry one will do as well. Now the fun part about this ragout sauce, I really enjoyed it because it just takes a long time, an hour or two to cook, but the ingredients is always what you have in the food cabin, and it's nothing so challenging. And what's good about this kind of sauce is it tastes even better the next day. So what you can do is on the weekend, you cook a big pile and separate them in a small portion. Whenever you need it, you come home, defrost it, cook some pasta, it's one meal with some vegetable. So let's talk about the variation. This is what I came across on a recipe in Germany. I realized that some people put the pumpkin cubes into the meat sauce. And it tastes wonderful because the sourness of the tomato sauce will mine down the sweetness. So from the sweetness of the pumpkin, it complements each other really nicely with the meat. So my friend I'm very lucky that my friend actually got me some butternut squash from her father-in-law's vegetable garden. So I decided to use it into the meat sauce today. This is one of the versions I love very much. Another one, which is not so uncommon, but it's going to add a lot of flavor into a sauce. Now you can choose to put some ham or some bacon. I have both in hand, but today I feel like having ham. So I'm gonna cut some chunks. When the meat sauce is almost ready, I will put it in to enhance the smoky flavor. Not so much, just enough according to how you like it. That's the first thing. And to this smoky fragrance, I am going to spice up a bit. I love spicy. So this is dry Italian chilies. It's actually quite spicy, very spicy actually, and a bit smoky hot. I'll keep the seeds, so what I'll do is I'll put some rock salt in it and to find it a little bit more. Some rock salt, not so much, but you don't have to worry that you're putting salt in it because in the main sauce I put very little salt in there. Plus the saltiness from the ham should taste really good, complement each other really well. I'm not worried so much about the seeds, but if it bothers you, you can use chili powder instead of the dry chili with seeds. See, I'm gonna grate the entire piece of Parmigiano. What I cannot finish, bag them well, put it into the freezer. Whenever I need it, I take it out to keep them fresh. Now, the reason why I decided to do so is because we are not a everyday pasta eater, and this cheese we never be able to finish in time. Yet, I don't really like to buy the ready pack. So at the end, I always toss a big piece of cheese. When it's moldy, I just couldn't eat it anymore, so I toss it away. Eventually, I come up with this idea. I take what I needed freshly, then keep them in the freezer. And this is really user-friendly. Whenever you take out your frozen meat sauce, whenever you want to do the aubergine grill, lasagna, or simply put it on top of a fresh baguette, sprinkle with some Parmesan, and grill them. They are just wonderful, including when you want to eat pizza. So, small tips. It's been 45 minutes. Let's have a look what's in there. Not only smells good, and look at the color. The pinky color from the milk is completely gone. Like I said, you don't really need to worry about it. And 45 minutes, this is pretty much 2/3 of the time you want to cook, and quite some liquid has evacuated. Just like we talked before, I first added half a cup of milk, and then I added an extra 1/4 cup into it, and this is more like it. Okay, from here I would take out some meat sauce. For the first variation, which is adding some ham or bacon and the spicy chili sauce. That's pretty much it. Then I'll keep some original. I'm having quite some pumpkin today and I don't want to waste it, so I will leave a little bit more to cook the butternut squash together. Now from here, I'm using a big pot to cook the butternut squash in. In it goes, mix a little. That would take, I would say, 15 to 25 minutes. Just leave it there. I'm too gritty, huh? You can see the pumpkin is almost as much as the meat sauce. So what I'll do is I'll add a little bit backwards. That's it. Put the lid on. Turn up the heat until it starts bubbling and turn it down again. I'm gonna start with the final seasoning. Here comes potato. Not potato, sorry, the butternut squash. They are not very salty. Like I said, I start out with only one teaspoon of sea salt, and this is it. I'm gonna add. Very lovely, full of flavors. This one is easy. I'm not going to add a lot because I didn't take out enough meat sauce out. So I'm going to put only half, adjust the amount accordingly, unless you really like ham or bacon. And this is the salt and the chili. Mix. Yes. Meanwhile, I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to the original. Same time, some more pepper, loud pepper. Mix, mix. A bit more salt. I'm the butternut squash version because they need a bit more sweet saltiness to balance out. Love it. So beautiful. This is the right season to dig in some more beta carotene. And again, lots of pepper. Now I believe the original sauce is ready. The other two is ready. It's gonna take maybe another 10 minutes for the butternut squash to cook through. So I'm gonna close the lid and switch off the other two. Meanwhile, I'm putting the pasta in. Get ready to cook. Generous amount of sea salt. There you go. 7 minutes, my pasta is ready. And I apologize that I was a little bit too greedy. The stove was too much high heat, and the bottom is a little bit sticky. But apart from that, nothing big, and it's tasting really, really delicious. So I am going to test out all these 3 flavors for you. That's one of them. The one with pumpkin, original. Don't worry, there's no way I will be able to finish it just me and my husband alone, but this tastes wonderful even the next day. And whatever you cannot finish, even with pasta, you can put some cheese and grill it the next day. This is with ham and the chili. let's go to the dining room and have it a try. Parsley. Parmesan cheese. And mix. I'm only going to do the surface. Like I said, this is just a try out. This one, from the fragrance, is from the ham and the spicy version. You will be surprised. 1 tin of tomato. It is still sour enough. Only 1 tin for 500 grams of meat. Well balanced of smokiness, saltiness, and slightly spicy. Let's have this one. The sweetness of the pumpkin, sourness of the tomato sauce, and wonderful savory flavor. From the meat sauce. This one is with tremendous amount of black pepper. Huh. Ha ha ha. Parmesan, butternut squash, creamy, sweet, salty, and slightly sour. Original. Mix well. This flat leafy parsley is wonderful. Classic. Give it a try in your own kitchen. You won't regret it. It's so simple. It's the best way you can do to cook the whole meal throughout the week for your family. Give it a try. See you next time.